it's Tommy or ACOD, whatever you want to call me. And I've been doing a little research, and I don't know why, except I just like to do this when I'm, bored. And I found something pretty interesting between these three states: Minnesota, Maryland, and Wisconsin. All three states of where I've been in all three states. Used to live in these two states, and this state is right next to Minnesota. Some connections to these three states. These are probably my three favorite states. But if you look at this, they're right on line. You got 5,300,000, 5,700,000, and 5,800,000. It's like Wisconsin and Maryland are almost the same population, well, by 100,000. And Minnesota is just lapping along there. Anyways, let's go back to these. The thing that's pretty interesting about Maryland, which is the most interesting to me, is how Baltimore is 6 times bigger than its second biggest population, Columbia. And if you look about how far away they are, I would call this a suburb. And don't get mad at me. It's around 20 miles away, which isn't bad. Then you got Wisconsin. You got Milwaukee and Madison. It's pretty well spread out. Milwaukee's around twice as big. Yeah, around twice as big. And from Milwaukee to Madison is actually pretty far. It's around 80 miles. So I wouldn't really, have them in connection. Madison's is the capital. Green Bay is around 119. But then you get Kenosha, which is like the closest I can find to Milwaukee, and it's around 5 times as many people. 6, sorry. It's around 6 times as many people, so it's still the equivalency to Baltimore to Columbia. And it's 40 minutes. It's kind of a suburb. Oh, it's 40 miles, I meant, sorry. And then you get Minnesota. You got the Twin Cities, we call it. Minneapolis and St. Paul. They're brothers and sisters. They're just like always next to each other. That's why all the Minnesota sports teams is called the Minnesota Vikings and Minnesota Twins. Is because if you just say, oh yeah, the St. Paul Twins or the Minneapolis Twins, Minneapolis get mad or St. Paul get mad. And just to give you a good comparison about how close they are, they're 7 miles apart. They're basically right next to each other. I think there's a city in between them. I cannot remember completely. So I would, if you combine both of these cities and take away the sweet 420,000 and make it around 720,000, then it's bigger than Baltimore and Milwaukee, and that's not really that fair. But what gets interesting is about how these have the same population, like in the entire state, but they also have pretty close populations when it comes to city-wise. So if I just scroll down, okay, let's do 42, Pansdinia. I have no idea where that is. 29,000. Okay, you got Minnesota. Which one are we doing? 42. Okay. Austin. I also have no idea what that is. 25,000. And then let's go to 42 over here. Fox Crossing. 18,000. So Wisconsin is a little less spread out, and it gets pretty small quickly. So Wisconsin's not the best example for this, but Minnesota and Maryland are pretty close. It's like 4,000 population. If you go to right here, Big Lake City. Actually, I don't like that. Let's do Cloquet. 89. It's 89th on the list, and it's 12,005. Let's go to 89. Elkton, sorry. 15,000, okay. It's 3,000. And Oregon, wow. I wonder if there's any more Oregons. I think this is the original name, if you ask me. 10,000. So these are all within around 5,000 range. But the most interesting thing to me is that the suburbs. Minneapolis, St. Paul is pretty big on its own, But what really carries Minnesota is its suburbs, the metro area. To give you a good example, Rochester is like an hour south. This is around 3 hours north. These are all suburbs. These are around 40 minutes away. These are all suburbs. This one's by North Dakota. These are all suburbs, and these are pretty big suburbs. Like, it gets down to like 33. Oh, this is suburb. Okay, you get what I mean. I like to call White Bear Lake the entrance to the metro area. Anyways, that's what I think about how these are, how these work. And you can also see that Maryland is a lot smaller than Minnesota, and Wisconsin's around the same size. And that's kind of what you get, is that most of Minnesota's population lies, you see this area? Below that. Then you got Duluth is around right here. St. Cloud and Woodbury is around right here. Anything above this, except for Duluth, Cloquet, Hermantown, Moorhead, it's a pretty small area, and it's the most spread out area, especially over here. Hold on. Like this little area is also very, very farmlandy. But yeah, I just thought that was pretty interesting how all these states correlate. Hope you guys have a good day, and sorry for wasting your time.